shortly. Thanks a lot for having me from remote. I am in Switzerland. This is where our research, our policy work, and where our foundation has been created. We were first an association. We began our work in 2016, and last year we transformed into a foundation, the Women's Brain Foundation. A very short introduction about myself. I am one of the founders, the president, a medical doctor, a neuroscientist who has been prioritizing the well-being of women in terms of brain health and mental health, and dedicated basically my life to this cause, which is coming from my heart. You can see here one sentence. It's about the strength of a people is measured by the well-being of its weakest member. And this is from the Swiss Constitution, actually, which means the Swiss Constitution entitled that you can really measure whether a country, a nation, a planet is doing fine by considering what about the status of the weakest within. Now, this doesn't mean that women are weak, not at all, but we also know that women have special needs as much as children. And so if we don't have them at the best of their health, it means the country, the planet, the community is not doing the way it should. And we just heard from the introduction that, women spend most of their life in poor health. It's about 9 years more than men will do. It's about chronic condition. It's about pain. It's about diseases that impact even women of being productive. So in the end, it's also the loss we have for our health, for our productivity, for our GDP. And we heard that it's about, return of investment. It was mentioned, the McKinsey report pointing at 1 trillion return of investment by doing research on women's. Actually, I want to add that our research done together with the McKinsey Institute of Health has been able to show that 1/4 of this 1 trillion goes specifically to brain and mental health of women. So the brain remains one of the most underserved, understudied organ of the entire human body. And we should go beyond fertility, beyond reproductive health, which is absolutely important, but we are not just that. We are a complex machinery per se, and we own women centuries of research that has not been serving the purpose of well-being of women around the globe. So that's what we do at the foundation. We generate the science. Next slides, please. Exactly. This is what I just mentioned to you. Out of this 1 trillion return of investment that the World Economic Forum, together with the McKinsey Institute of Health, has been able to show will be deriving by doing women's research and returning GDP by 2040 globally, we were able to show that 1/4 of this 1 trillion, it's about the brain of women. So diseases like depression, anxiety, Alzheimer's disease, migraine, multiple sclerosis, and the list can go on, unfortunately. It is about predominantly female. And there is one part that actually will make this 250 billion for the brain research in women even more compelling. It's the unpaid or underpaid work that women do worldwide as caregivers, which doesn't picture in any GDP in the appropriate way it should. So my challenge would be, what if women would strike basically worldwide and will show that the productivity of the entire planet will drop? Because if we don't do the caregiving, then I doubt the other can leave household and be as productive as they wish. It's a bit of a provocation, but we like to provoke the thinking of how to solve the problem. Because if we don't get thinking, if we don't use this machine by provoking a thought, then there is no result which can be tangible and change the world for better. This is a work that we published on Nature Mental Health, conducted together with the McKinsey Institute of Health, but I've mentioned that already. Next one, please. Finally, again, it's about our work with also awareness, and awareness comes by having sometimes slogan that make us, reflect. And this is our launched campaign that generates that type of knowledge on people that even if they are from the healthcare system, they still remain surprised when they hear that majority of patients with Alzheimer's disease are women. Or when we say that majority of the patients with depression are women, with anxiety are women, with multiple sclerosis are women, with migraine are women. People say, really? Yes, it is like this. And women do not deserve this majority. That's the slogan of our campaign. Women should not be leaders in this regard. We deserve leadership roles, but not by being the majority of patients living with these conditions. So it's about prevention, it's about finding the right treatment, it's about prioritizing the need of women, and finally, rewriting medicine under the sex and gender lens. Next slides, please. So how do we do this? I believe in education. I mean, when we started in 2016, we were a small organization where a core of scientists basically came together and said, okay, let's change for the good of women. And we started to generate facts, data. When you bring data on the table, nobody can counteract because data speaks. So it's about showing the case for why we need to do that type of research, which is the business case behind it, but most importantly, which are the life behind it. It's about the life of women. And this goes along with education. We need to keep on educating on this high unmet need. And this is why we launched an academy. It's the Women's Brain Foundation Academy, where we invite people that share an interest in sex and gender precision medicine to unite and work together for generating the science, for educating the broader community, empower each of us as women, as scientists, as policymakers, as people working within corporation and being managers, as mothers, sisters, whatsoever, just with the knowledge needed to explain our need and to take care of our health. And finally, it's about connection, where women have to become much, much better than men. It's about connecting. And I say this every time I attend this type of meetings. I'm not in the room, unfortunately. I was attending an incredible event last week in Basel, exactly on the same topic. And I had a floor of 500 people. This was about 500 women. So my encouragement to hold the women in the room, and I hope that you are having also an equal presence of male, to hold by the hand a man and explain the matter, because we're not going to be the change maker ourselves alone. We are going to certainly lead it because it's our own interest and we will be leading this change, but we need to do it also with the contribution of the male counterpart to have the impact. So our academy, our educational activity, it's really aimed to create a broad platform where everyone comes together, makes the science, bring the evidence on the table, educate on the evidence, and finally make the change we need to witness. And with this, I'm done.
Awesome. Thank you so much.